Friends, it's Michelle from Little Farm in the Valley. So today we're going to be canning peaches, and I'm going to show you the recipe and the method that I use for canning peaches. It is very easy. It is as simple as being able to follow a recipe. So I would say this is something that anyone can do. Canning really isn't as intimidating as a lot of people think it is. It is literally as simple as following a recipe and having the right canning equipment, and you are good to go. So today I will show you how we do a very basic canned peach recipe. So I'm going to be using the Ball Blue Book of Canning and Preserving, and we just found this at our local feed store. I'm sure you could probably order them online. And in one of the first pages there's a fruit syrup in the fruit and juice section, and it is very, very basic. It goes from extra light to heavy, and then there's also a corn syrup and honey version. So I will post a picture of this and tell you which one I use and why. And then we're just going to go right to the peach section, and I will try and take a picture of this recipe for you to screenshot as well. There's a few. There's a peaches and apple juice, there's a honey spiced peaches. I just go with the basic peach recipe. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So we got some Georgia peaches from the fruit truck, and we are going to take some out for fresh eating, and then we're going to can the rest. They are a little bit small, but they are very, very good. It's kind of hit and miss. With the fruit truck fruit, we've had good and bad experiences here in South Dakota with the fruit truck, but this is a good one. So we're hoping with these 2 boxes to get 10 to 15 quarts, but since they're a little bit small, I don't know how it's going to go, but that's the plan. So I have to plan my syrup recipe accordingly. So on this fruit syrup list, like I said, it goes from light to medium to heavy, and I always do the extra light. Basically the least sugar that I can get away with using is what I'm going to do. And it says on the bottom, each syrup recipe yields enough to can 3 to 4 quart jars, and since we're planning on getting 10 to 15, hopefully, I will start with taking that recipe 4 or 5 times, and if it's left over, it's not really a problem because it's just sugar water, and you can use it to make iced tea or whatever you want. If it's left over, you have to dump it. So I'm going to go with the extra light. 1.5 cups sugar and 5 3/4 cups water. I'm going to do that 4 or 5 times and get it into a pretty big pot. So we're going to blanch our peaches, which is just taking boiling water and dumping them in for 30 to 60 seconds. And then we're going to take them out into a cold water bath. So we're just going to fill our pot here with hot water, then we're going to get it to a boil, and then we're going to start blanching our peaches. So first we're going to wash them in cold water, and then we're going to put them in our blanching pot. So our blanching water is cooking, and we're going to start with our first batch here. You don't want to have too many in your pot because you want to be able to get them out in a timely manner. So we're going to turn our 60-second timer on and let this go. And we're ready to scoop them out right here. And we have cold water in one of our sinks that they're going to go directly into. So here's how I check if I blanch them long enough. You should be able to take basically your finger or a knife and kind of get a little start. And if the skin peels off fairly easily, you're good to go. This is blanched long enough. It makes for a lot easier peeling, the blanching. So to compare with a peach that hasn't been blanched, let me show you what this looks like. So it's kind of tearing. It's not giving me a good peel. So I'm wasting a lot this way. So now I have my peaches on somewhat of a drain here, and I'm gonna start the peeling process. So I have a jar that's still warm from the dishwasher, and I'm just gonna peel. You try and peel the thinnest layer, but obviously you are gonna get some peach flesh every now and then. And the size of your peaches will depend on whether you quarter them or halve them or whatever works the best to make a nice peach slice. Obviously you do want to get that core out. And where I grew up, it was kind of a tradition to put a peach seed in the jar, and it was said that it's just for looks. So I'm not quite sure how accurate that is, but just for fun, I usually do. And since these peaches are so small, I'm just quartering them and putting them directly into my jar. So once the jars are full, we're gonna take our boiling hot syrup and pour it over those peaches, and then they're gonna be processed in a water bath canner. We're doing quarts, so it's gonna be 30 minutes. But it's gonna be quite a while to peel and cut all these peaches into our jars. So when your peaches have to stand for a period of time while you're doing the rest of them, we have this Fruit Fresh powder that you could put over them if you wanted to. Being that they're packed into the jars though, obviously there's some peaches that it's not going to reach. So if it takes too long, you could empty the jars into a big bowl and give them this. When I do see a little browning I will sometimes give it a sprinkle or two of the Fruit Fresh powder. You can find this in most grocery stores in the canning section. So this is what we got from our 2 boxes. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 22 quarts from those 2 boxes. So that's pretty good. So now that we have all the peaches in the jars, I'm going to start filling them with the syrup. So I had brought my syrup to a boil and I left it on the back of the stove to stay warm. So now I'm going to fill my jars. And then I have my water bath canner, which is the black pot, and that is almost to a boil as well. So I'm going to fill the jars, and I'm going to wipe the rims with a clean rag, get the lid and the ring on, and then I'm going to process them in my water bath canner for 30 minutes. this is the next day, and I'm going to show you what our peaches look like. So we had, I can't remember, 21 or 22 quarts, and I've taken most of them to the basement, but I kept this one up here to show you, and they all sealed. So we had really good luck there. And this is a beautiful jar of peaches, guys. They're not mushy. Well, not super mushy. There's just a little bit of something there, but aesthetically they look really good. So let's see what the taste and texture of these peaches look like. So you want a nice, attractive slice. I mean, just for looks, it is totally fine. If you blanched a little bit too long, your peaches are going to be a little bit mushier. But if you do it right, you are going to end up with a beautiful, very attractive looking, very delicious looking slice of peach. So let's see how these taste. Incredible. There's nothing like canned peaches. And these, they go really well in the summer with meals, like evening meals when you want something cold, when it's been a hot day and you don't want hot food. These go great as a side, for yogurt toppings, just so many ways and uses, for breakfasts, for things like your baked oatmeal, or your even your cold, like oatmeal with yogurt. They pair so well with so many things. And I have a feeling that these 22 jars are not going to last us very long, and we're probably going to be doing some more canning peaches this year if we can get some. So anyway, guys, hopefully this gave you some confidence in canning your own peaches. You can actually also find quite a few uses for the juice. If you don't want to just eat it along with the peaches, I sometimes take it out and use it in recipes and use it for adding to my iced teas and things like that as a peach syrup. So the juice is also a really, really good thing, and you do not want to be dumping that juice.